So I'm gonna take you guys through how to get a full coverage face of makeup without looking like a cake face and still having it look natural. And the best part is you only need one compact. So I'm gonna take you through that. My name is Dee. I am a Seint beauty artist and a DIY lash enthusiast, though I'm not wearing lashes today, just one of those days. But I'm gonna take you through my full coverage makeup routine, how simple, quick, and easy it is, and I take you step by step. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I have done my skincare, I have primed my face, so now I'm ready to go in with my colors. So here, just to kind of take you through real quick, when you do a color match form, to pick out the perfect colors for your face and what you should do, I will recommend some different things, different colors. So I have dark eye circles. I actually have green, purple, and blue, 3 different colors under my eyes. So I use 2 different color correctors. So I'll quickly go through that. I also do a color correcting for the redness. That is probably the biggest thing. Redness and unevenness are the 2 things that I'm trying to combat. Can't speak today. I have 2 colors that I use. I use a lighter shade when it's a little bit winter, like winter time, but because I have been self-tanning, I do level up. So I'll kind of go through that. And then I have my contour, my bronzer, my blush, and then I'm going to do a 2 eyeshadow makeup look today. So it's super, super easy. I'm gonna go through the brushes that I use, the benefits to it. So let's go ahead. I've already said that, but let's go into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, like I said, color correcting. I use the blend brush. So this has a fluffy end at the, fluffy part at this part. I'll be honest with you, I don't normally use this part of it because it does give a little bit of sheer coverage. So if you were looking for like a makeup day where you don't want a lot of coverage or don't need a lot of coverage, this brush is amazing for that. I use this part to do the color correcting. So I will go in first with this kind of orangey shade. So this is called Frenchie. This is actually a lip and cheek color, but for me, because it has a little bit of that orangey tone to it, it is purple for color correcting. Then I go in with this yellow tone right here. It's called Sunlit, and this is perfect to kind of cancel out those blues. So those orange color is kind of canceling out that purple color, and the Sunlit, this yellow color, is canceling out those blues. So I'm just going in, and my goal here is not really coverage, it's really color correcting. And that's one thing I like about this brush, is it doesn't pack a whole bunch of punch to it, it gives a little wash of color. So what I do after that is I will take my beauty blender, and I personally use a dry beauty blender. I don't use a wet one because I feel like, maybe it's because my face is dry, I feel like a wet one just kind of moves the product all over my face, whereas a dry one actually pushes the product in my face and makes sure there's no harsh lines and just really kind of does a better job of pushing it in. So that is it for the blend brush. Next, I'm gonna go in with the buff brush. So this has a tapered end here. This is to pack a little bit more coverage, and they're both pretty much, it's the same brush, but this one's a little bit smaller, this one's a little bit bigger. So I go in with this one, and I'm gonna go in with this color right here. As you can see in the camera, it's kind of got a little bit of a green undertone to it, a green hue. This is a color called June. Now I know a lot of other people use different colors for color correcting. The Redness, this one works just fine, and I have it in my collection, so I might as well use it. But if you are interested in color correcting, I will recommend a lot of these products. You will probably, like I always tell people, instead of going color correcting, look at the products, just purchase the main highlight shade first and maybe a brightening, and see how much coverage that gives you. Because to me, I'd rather you spend less and get the product that you need, and then if you need some more, then purchase it. But I don't want you to buy everything and then realize you don't really need it and kind of waste your money. That's not what it's about. So usually I'll tell people, hey, try the product out, and if you feel like you need a little bit of color correcting, then I can recommend a shade that's specific for you. So I'm going in, I'm buffing this in. You can tell I'm not like rubbing this all together. I'm actually packing it into the skin, making sure it's there, and I'm not using a whole bunch. I'm not going through here. I'm not doing my whole face. I'm just focusing on those areas that are a little bit more red and color correcting it out. Now, in full disclosure, I'm gonna be using 5 different brushes for this look. This is extra. You do not need this many brushes. Let me just say that again, you do not need this many brushes. When I do color matching, I usually will recommend the 3D foundation brush. So this one is perfect for no matter what you do. Applying everything that I'm applying today can be applied with this one brush. And then it has this tapered end that is perfect for getting in the inner corner. So I'm extra, you do not need this, but I wanna show you what the different brushes do in case you're interested in it. So that is the buff brush. So next I'm gonna go in, I've color corrected everything. So there's 2 different methods. You can do the kind of smear method, you can do the dot method, the cheetah hack, if you will. I find with that method, I get a less coverage with it. This, because this video is full coverage, I'm gonna show you another technique. So basically what I'm gonna do at this time is I'm gonna take this darker shade. This is Aurora. This is my shade now that I'm a little bit darker because I'm self-tanning. And I'm actually going to dip the brush in and I'm gonna go ahead and apply. And I'm going to put this all over my face. Now normally, if you're going for more of a sheer coverage look or more natural color look, I would say don't apply this all throughout. You put your contour here and it's kind of one layer. But again, because this is full coverage look, I wanna show you guys what this product looks like. And this is the best way to get it. So I'm just going in here and I'm pressing it into my skin. And I'm not like going in. I mean, this stuff is pigmented. So I usually go in with very light hand. I'm not smearing my brush in because to me, less is always more. And I can always go back in and pack up the areas that I need to pack up if needed. So I don't want to have a super heavy hand with this. Now, because I am a little bit, have a little bit more redness in my T-zone, I'm just gonna go back through with this kind of brightening shade. I'm gonna take it under my eyes and just brighten up my T-zone area. So again, I don't normally do this. I don't normally use this much product, but for this video, I'm going to church today, so I'm gonna have a full face of makeup, and then I'm just gonna drag it down into here. So what I'm gonna do at this point, again, I'm gonna take my, I keep saying beauty blender. This is not a beauty blender. This is actually a Real Techniques blender. I prefer this over the beauty blender. It is a lot more affordable, and I feel like the sponge just overall is better. I don't know if it's like more spongy, or I think it's more spongy. I think the beauty blender is a little bit harder, not by much, but I just started using the beauty blender or the Real Techniques one as soon as I heard that it was kind of a dupe or an alternative, and just never looked back. And I've bought the beauty blender when it's gone on sale, and I'm like, no, I actually prefer this one. Why spend more money when I actually prefer the... So that is it. That is kind of the full coverage. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna contour. So this is where I'm gonna use the detail brush. It has kind of a little bit, so you can put the perfect amount of product there, just a little slice here. And then it also has this end too. On the days where, like I'll use it right now, where my eye bags are a little bit more prominent, I will go in, and it's just a really, really nice brush to get in. It does pack a little bit more of a punch than the blend brush. So this brush right here is a lot more sheer coverage. This is more dense, so it's going to apply more product. So depending on what your coverage options are or what you're looking for that day. So next I'm gonna go in with my contour color. This is the color Ash, and this is the one that I have used. I've been using this makeup for over 1.5 years now, or close to 1.5 years now, and I have used this contour so much. So I'm not applying it. Or in here, I have I've gained so much weight that I barely can suck in my cheeks because it's, I gained a lot of weight. So I'm not applying it in the hollows, I'm applying it right above. Okay, so then I'm gonna go through, and again, my Real Technique brush is my best friend, or my blender, because I feel like it just packs that product in, and it just makes sure that everything is blended out and there's no harsh lines. So next I'm gonna go with my bronzer. This is the Bella bronzer, and I'm gonna be taking the blush and buff brush. So this is actually pretty much the only end that I use. It is beautiful for applying brush. For bronzer, it's nice and dense, but it puts the perfect amount of product. This one I will use if I'm sometimes taking it down or doing like my chest area or whatever. It's not as dense, so it's more of a fluffy brush, but I like this end. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna put this on the edge of my forehead to just kind of add warmth. I'm gonna take this on the top of my cheekbones up through here. So next I'm gonna do this blush right here. This is called Nude. Now these are very, very pigmented. So this is one of the satin blushes. So a little bit goes a long way. And I just put a couple dots here, a couple dots there. And then again, I'm taking the blush and buff brush, the blush portion, and I'm just packing that onto my skin. And you can see it just gives a really, really pretty flush glow. So a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, I remember when I first got it, I was like, I don't know. But when I put it on, if you have fair skin, this is going to give you the prettiest natural glow, or like flushed look, like a healthy flushed look. And that is it for my face. So the next thing I do is I find that the eyeshadows apply better if I don't have any cream product on my lids. So I will always have, this is not dirty, I promise you. I wash it, it's just, well, this part is dirty because I was just washing my fingers on it, but it's just stained. I'll go through and take off, because you know, sometimes you get it on your lips. So I'll do that, and then I'll take a clean portion and I will just wipe off my eyelids. And I find that the eyeshadows apply so much better, but they don't crease as much if I don't have any of the products there. Now, if you have very veiny eyelids like I do, you can always go in with a primer, and there's a lot of primers out in the market where it will kind of, they have a little bit of coverage on them, so it will clear up that. That doesn't bother me, I don't care about that. But if it bothers you, I would recommend getting a primer, an eyeshadow primer that has some pigment to it, so it kind of camouflages. These eyeshadows are truly amazing. I love eyeshadows, and I'm not gonna say that they're the best on the market, because there's other brands that make fabulous eyeshadows. And I have the Lorac Pro palette. Absolutely love this one. It is absolutely gorgeous. Milani, and these are just things that I have. I mean, so I'm not, even though I think Seint eyeshadows are amazing, I'm not brand specific. Like, I still enjoy other eyeshadows. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my gosh, only buy Seint eyeshadows. No, they're great eyeshadows. I think they're fabulous, and I do use them on an everyday basis, but I still buy other palettes because there's other colors and other things that I wanna try. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the eyeshadow brush, and this one has like a fluffy end, perfect for doing like your transition shade and all that stuff. And then it has this end that's perfect for getting under here. So I'm just wiping it off because my brushes are disgusting. I probably should clean them. So I'm gonna go in with this color here. This is the color, I wanna make sure, Chai. As you can see here, it's a very, very loved color. But I'm just gonna take this and put it all over my eyelid. And I'm gonna bring it up here because I have hooded eyes. And so I wanna make sure that that product, and it kind of covers a little bit more of the veins in my eyes. So that's that. Next, I'm gonna take this color. This is an absolutely gorgeous color, probably one of my favorites, and it's called Riviera. And it's just this really pretty goldy champagne color. And I'm just gonna use my ring finger and I'm gonna apply that on my lid. So you don't need any special tools for this or whatever. Your finger will work perfectly. And honestly and truly, on days, like normal days, I won't even do like the matte color. I will just literally put Riviera or Sis is my other favorite one. It's kind of a pinky shimmer color. I will just take my ring finger and just slap it on and we're good to go. So you don't need any, this is my favorite way to apply shimmers. I feel like the heat of your fingers just kind of, I don't want to say melt the product, but just make the product a little bit creamier. And I feel like you have more control over your finger than you do a brush, because you can sit there and buff it out and put it exactly where you want it. So that is that. Next, I'm gonna go in with do my eyebrows. So I have been loving this eyebrow pencil here. It's by Florence. It's the Tint and Tame, and I think I'm using taupe. Yeah, taupe. So it has a spoolie. It also has like a triangle end on it. So I prefer that over like a very precise, just because I like more of just an even coverage. I don't like sharp strokes. Now, the other thing that I do before I do my eyebrows is I will take a clean Q-tip and I will just run them through my brows. I did have microblading done several years ago, so I have a pretty decent template still. But you can see here, that is how much makeup was in my eyeshadow or my eyebrows. So I just like to clean them up a little bit, and then I will go through, brush them, make sure they're sitting where I want them to, and then go in. And I have a tendency to go a little crazy on my eyebrows. Like I'll go in and I'll just darken, and I'll sit back and I'm like, whoa! So I'm gonna go in with a very, very light hand. Don't wanna scare anybody at church today. So I'm gonna use, this is the Mary Kay eyelash curler. Now my eyelashes are so little and pathetic. Hence the reason why I do DIY lashes, because they are very, very little. Next, I'm gonna be taking the Mary Kay eyeliner. This is in brown or something like that. I actually really, really like their eyeliners. I feel like they don't transfer that much, but I just put it like a little bit above my waterline, like in my eye, like where my hairs are. Oh, the one thing that I did not do is I didn't do under my eyes. So I'm gonna take the pencil part of it and take that chai. I just feel like it evens it out a little bit more. So I have been hating every mascara that I've tried. So I'm just gonna go in with this mascara, the Mary Kay Ultimate Mascara. It's a pretty decent one, but I just have such small eyelashes. And last night I took off my eyelashes the wrong way. I pulled them off. Would not recommend, do not recommend if you want to have healthy, regular, natural eyelashes. But I was having kind of anxiety, and I do that with my nails and with my eyelashes. I'll just kind of start pulling things. And so, yeah. And I woke up this morning and I was like, what did I do? Well, I knew what I was doing, but I couldn't stop myself. I sometimes have anxiety and I become a picker. And I will like rip my acrylic nails. I used to do the dip nails. I would like snap them and then pick them off, and would completely ruin my nails. So that is it. That is a full coverage face. It is a little bit, I would say not a little bit, it's a lot bit more makeup than I normally use. Usually I just do that one smear, it's one layer, but I feel like it's really still very, very pretty. When I look at myself in the mirror, it still looks like my skin. Even though I'm covering up everything that I want to cover up, I still feel like nothing is cakey, nothing looks packed on. It still looks like skin, and it looks really, really pretty. And it's nice and glowy. So, and it's also very simple. Even though I used a lot more brushes than you have to achieve this look, it is still very, very simple to do. Simple eyeshadow look. The only thing is my short little lashes. But other than that, I think my mascara took me longer than doing my whole face. So that says something. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Please leave your comments down below. Until next time, bye.